Well, I'm gonna change the subject, and I'll ask the same subject but different.
Good.
Different. Yeah, we're gonna beat up on somebody different. Where's the future of the MLS?
I heard there's things shifting in that too. It's like,
Well, the whole purpose was clear cooperation.
Yep.
So you got the listing, you put that in the MLS, and you were declaring what I am going to be cooperating with that buyer's agent.
Mhm.
Well, this whole argument that's occurring of each side paying their own or the buyer's agent's commission going away. So what's MLS's role in this? Moving forward.
that's a really great question. I'm just gonna leave that for them to settle. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, keep marketing, keep doing deals, and just keep going.
Okay.
And just,
Travis?
just look forward, man.
Just saying that, I don't know why my thoughts haven't gone deeper than they were. Because now if we don't have cooperation,
Which
then
technically we no longer do.
what's an MLS gonna do if I can't offer, or if I'm choosing not to offer compensation, if I'm gonna go to another MLS, is that door gonna open up? I like it now because everything's in one place. It's an even playing field, theoretically. I don't care about the commission portion of it. We can fix that with a buyer broker agreement and everything. But I want to know, hey, if I've agreed to put my listings out there for people to sell, that I also have an opportunity to sell yours. Once you take those listings away and say, well, I'll be happy to sell yours, but no, I'm going to go ahead and sell mine myself. We no longer have cooperation.
Correct.
And that's the most powerful aspect of MLS. Once you break that down, then we're the UK. And I got to go to a listing agent to look at a property. And if I like the one across the street, now I got to get on the phone, find that guy or gal, and have another appointment to see that one.
Okay.
That's not efficient.
So, well, some parts of the state, some parts of California, I mean, we go to Northern California, I won't say the majority, but a good number of the listings don't even make it into the MLS there. And that was part of the argument that's part of why clear cooperation came to play. But and let me take a step back. When I said clear cooperation, really what I was referring to was compensation. Because when the MLS was first developed, we put it in there that we were going to cooperate with our fellow members, and this was what the compensation was going to be. And now we've removed, the MLS has already stepped up and said, hey, you can put 0 in here as a number.
Yep.
Before it had to be an actual
$1
number.
$1
Yeah,
minimum.
which nobody ever did.
Very few people have the goal to do that.
Right.
But
Yeah.
now you theoretically can go 0 and have the benefits of, what are the benefits of putting it in the MLS?
No one's going to really want to show it.
So you have
only if the
syndication.
only if the buyer wants to really, really see that house, they're going to see it. But I don't think anybody's going to show it, obviously,
So is their role
challenge.
going to change to this is where your portal is of syndication out to the world?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Yeah, is it going to be open source MLS? Who knows?
Okay. So if it becomes open source MLS, I'm just going down the rabbit hole here because I asked this question because at the end of the day, Alex, how hard do you really work to get that listing?
Pretty hard.
Okay. And then you go and you give this data to the MLS to syndicate out
Right.
and profit from it with all this syndication and have rules and regulations that you have to abide by
Correct.
and are enforced and put on you. Yet the product was yours.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to be like commercial. We need to be like, what's it called? CoStar,
Okay.
right? So you get a listing. I guess they do. They just get their commission.
Right.
And then they take it and they call everyone they know
Yeah.
and they see if they can sell it. If they can't, then they tell their brokerage, hey guys,
Yeah.
you know anybody who wants this property?
Exactly.
And
So it's
then
like off market. It's
they
just like
can't-
off market, man.
If they can't sell that, then it goes into CoStar.
Right.
If it can't sell on CoStar, then it goes to LoopNet. It's
Right.
like the bottom of the barrel. But in the end, anyone who's looking at those, they are not being, there's no commissions in there. It doesn't say what they're going to pay you.
Correct.
You have to write that into your letter of
You
intent,
negotiate it.
and you
Yeah.
negotiate the commission along with purchase.
I like that. I don't think that there's anything wrong with negotiating that with the agent on the other side. And here's part of where I like that. Every experience that we have with another agent is not the same. That although there's value to that agent having brought the buyer to the property and procured that sale, the amount of work sometimes that's involved because of a lack of knowledge or experience or understanding. In some cases,
Common sense.
yeah, the burden still falls on you and hey, what's wrong with having the right to say, hey, yeah, I'll put this transaction together, but this is my payment to you on this one.
Sure.
This is what I'm willing to pay.
Right.
You know,
I had to carry you on my shoulders. My
Exactly.
shoulders a little tired.
so
So that's where the buyer broker agreement comes in.
correct. Oh, interesting.
That's good stuff, man.
I don't know, every time I open my mouth, I feel like I'm making everybody nervous. 'Cause
Honestly, like like I said, I keep everything very simple, and you guys are a little obviously more technical than I am. It's just like I'm just not. That's just noise. Until the dust settles, I don't care.
It is-
and then I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
it is
I'm not gonna change
noise.
until
And
if I have to get a buyer to pay me, then I'll say, hey, we can. I don't know.
So Alex, I'll
don't
agree
know,
with
man.
you,
I
but
don't know.
I'm also going to disagree with you. And here's
Cool.
where I'll disagree with you. And that, and don't get me wrong. I'm poking and prodding at NAR and I'm poking and prodding at the MLS, and I'm really just bringing up conversation.
Sure.
They both serve a purpose.
Yeah.
Whether we agree with their purpose or disagree with their purpose, that's something completely different. But they both serve a purpose, and they've served a purpose for a very long time that have allowed us to run this business for a lot of us in a very profitable, lucrative way, and have helped us create success. So that being said, keeping it simple and doing the things that we do and hey, waiting for things to happen, I feel like part of making sure that we're staying ahead of the game is just that, making sure, because too often I feel like COVID hit, and I saw some of the best agents in this industry go broke because they didn't know how to pivot. They didn't know how to adjust. They didn't understand the internet. They didn't understand online presence, social media. They didn't understand how to use their phone properly and how to make that actual pivot. And I saw them.
Sounds like they need to retire.
No,
Dude, it's like, seriously, I mean,
it wasn't so much that they needed to retire.
Yeah.
It was they were 3 or 4 months behind the curve. And that 3 or 4 months made a big difference for those that were able to pivot quickly. They gained that much more marketplace. They had to take it from somebody.
Yeah.
So I do think it's important to make sure that we are keeping up with what's happening to try to be,
I agree.
As far ahead of it as we can. Travis, what else is going on? You keep up a lot with Inman. What's going on with Inman?
What's Inman doing? They're just doing their thing.
Okay.
They're talking a lot about the lawsuits, trying to help people understand it. How do you move forward with this? What does it mean? When's it going to happen? Of course, the market a little bit. Most bizarre market. I've been in this business now going on 24 years. And when do you have a market where the practitioners are suffering, yet the people who own the product are blossoming, right? Like home values are great.
Yes.
There's no one's running for the hills and
Right.
ducking and things are crashing to the ground. And there's just nobody's really selling much, which is making us as practitioners go, oh my gosh, what's going on?
Right.
I mean, even during the Great Recession, when the inventory shot through the roof in an insane manner and everyone's losing their houses right and left, it's like, oh my God, these poor people. But there were a ton of transactions going on.
Correct.
We were trying to help people save their houses
Yeah.
or get out of their houses with as little amount of damage as possible. So there's tons of activity. Today, we're just sitting here. It's like, hey, this is awesome. Real estate's great. Everyone's doing well that owns it. But we don't have a whole lot to do here in the industry, We need to thin the ranks here.
Right. Well, that was part of the problem that we had. It's kind of how our conversation started. Seeing a mass exodus of agents more than likely in 2024. And this was a year where we've had the fewest number of transactions that occurred, along with the most number of people in the industry. So that pie just got sliced way too thin. Yeah.
it's like the 80-20 rule, right?
It was, it's
Or 90-10.
90-10. I think it might have been 95-5.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It
Right.
really breaks down. It gets deeper and deeper and deeper into that, 10 or 20% when
Right.
you're doing all the business for 80, 80.
Correct.
And then it just gets even in the 5% of the 5% are doing most of the deals out of that 20%, et cetera. You know, so it's interesting.
Those numbers are
interesting.
remarkable when you actually break those numbers down.
Yeah.
It is staggering.
Yeah.
And you know, when we look at you know, one of the things that we really don't talk about too often is that 80%, 87%, 88%, and I actually think that number is really more like pushing 90% now. The people in this industry are falling out or are failing, and I personally think that number would be 90, at least in this area. And Travis, you correct me if I'm wrong, at least in this area, that fallout rate of people having no success in this industry or not being able to survive in it, you know, industries, they say 87%. I'm saying 95 plus. If it weren't for second incomes in our area, in our community, of people being able to sustain themselves because of that, I think that number would be
We lose 80% of the realtors in our market.
overnight.
Yep, overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the person who's sitting at home and the husband or the wife or whatever is out with a good engineering job, Google, Apple, biotech, whatever it is. And they're like, yeah, I'll flip a deal or two a year. That's just terrible for the consumer, for the industry, for everyone. And there's just 80% of the realtors are doing that.
Right. Your thoughts?
I'm the one that brought it up. 80-20, man. 80-20, man. I think it's everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's 80-20, 90-10. You know, it's all there. The topic got way too hot, guys.
AKA the camera gave out on us. So we're wrapping it up.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's wrap it up. 2024 in 60 seconds or less. We'll call it 30 seconds or less. Give somebody a piece of advice or a tip for 2024.
Consistency, man. We just had our calendars out.
Yep.
Get your calendar out, and if you don't have the same thing going on 3 to 5 times a week that you're committed to, and following up with people and making sure that you're in contact, I think you're missing a huge opportunity.
All right.
Yep.
Alex?
I'm a big marketeer. I'm a marketeer, so it's all about marketing to me. It's for me and my business, and that's why I really have no worries.
All right. So is
Yeah.
it double down in 2024?
I've doubled down this year and last year, and I'm hopefully actually, quite honestly, we were just talking about it right now. I'm triple. It's about a triple down, maybe at least a double, if not triple.
Okay.
And I may add in some more in between, you know, marketing. But right now, that's my main focus, and I already have it. I already have it planned out in my 2024. Actually, in here, because I just picked this up, but it's already in my phone for 2024. Every single month, it's in my calendar already. That prepare your mailer. This is when it drops. This is when it goes out. So it's already there for the whole year. So
I like it.
2024.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. So my piece of advice, 2024, look at 2023, look at 2022. Maybe even go back and look at 2021 and take a real good look at what worked and reevaluate that and try to implement what was working, and then take a look at what didn't work and push it to the side, whether that's apps that you didn't use, never use, and are paying that $20 a month for, or whatever the case may be. But as Alex likes to say, scrub that list and figure out what's good, what's not good, and work with what's working.
Cool. Nice.
Sweet.
Nice.
All right.
Well, thanks for having me, Travis, and thanks, Nestor. Appreciate it,
Our
man.
pleasure.
That's
Our
awesome.
pleasure. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah.
Questions? Ask, please comment down below. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you. Yes, thank you. And hopefully we're bringing you guys value. Appreciate it and have a wonderful day.